What's going on, y'all? Stizzy back here with Master Detective Archives Raincoat Plus, and we are in the epilogue now, apparently. So maybe it's not. Well, yeah, we did get the chapter in title, the screen last time after leaving the mystery labyrinth pertaining to Connie Ward's ultimate secret. And we uncovered all the secrets. We uncovered Connie Ward's secret, the great global mystery, the truth of Makoto's identity and Yuma's identity too. So there was a lot of truth going on, but some sacrifices had to be made too, because Yuma and Makoto came to an agreement because Yuma wanted. Well, I picked the ending to tell everybody the truth about the true nature of everybody being homunculi, and to see how they deal with that truth, how they process it, and what they, how they move forward, knowing that. And so when Makoto agreed, and he's like, okay, all right. Because at the end, he does truly care about Kanai Ward and, well, more specifically, the homunculi that inhabit it now. And Yuma had to stay behind, but Shinigami did offer an emergency exit out of the mystery labyrinth, but there was a price to pay for that as well, because doing so would restore Yuma's memories. His memories when he was number one, the most brilliant detective in the World Detective Organization. But he would also, the pact with Shinigami would be broken, and he would lose all memories with her. And so he decided to leave after promising Shinigami that he would find the perfect solution and solve all mysteries and find and achieve happiness for everybody. So, yeah, it's quite a bit of fallout there. I imagine it's going to be from dropping all these truth bombs. So let's get to it.
More rain. Same as always. Until recently, I despised this rain. I thought it was just dark and sad. But now I see it differently. It's a gentle rain, protecting us. A strange illusion appears when I look up at it. The rain isn't falling on me, but rather, I am ascending toward it. At least, that's how it feels.
You go far enough upwards, then you're going to go past the rain clouds and into the sunlight, and oh no, berserk mode.
I suppose that's enough sentimentality for today.
Okay, so I guess Yuma and Makoto have told the truth, everybody the truth. And at least Kurumi seems to be dealing with it okay. It's like, oh hey Kurumi, you're a homunculi. You're a monster that was genetically engineered. You murdered probably your own counterpart and who knows who else. And oh yeah, those meat buns are made of corpses, so they're gonna have to keep eating those too to survive. And apparently we are controlling her now. She's got a big old backpack. What's she looking around? I'm starting to feel like the rain isn't so bad. Yeah, it does protect us after all. I never thought of I'd feel this way. Oh.
Hi, Kurumi. I've got your order right here. Ta-da! Amaterasu Corporation's brand spanking new raincoat. It'll easily block out both rain and sunlight.
Not like you'll be getting any sunlight here.
Wow. Amaterasu sure has changed. They're even making products for us now. Just a bit ago, they mainly exported stuff, so we never knew what they were making. But Mr. Makoto taking the helm of both Amaterasu and Kanai Ward really changed things.
Yeah, that's true.
It's nice to have a local business invested in our town's interests. Of course, I hope they keep exporting goods so that more money comes into Kanai Ward.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Makoto can handle it.
You got that right. Glory to the future of Kanai Ward. By the way, what's with the heavy bag? You going somewhere?
Yeah, something like that.
I see. Well, take care. Good rain to you.
Likewise. Good rain to you too. Next on the shopping list is... Right, body cream.
I guess instead of good day, they say good rain because it's just still falling down, never changing, never going away. Okay, so she's getting a raincoat and now body cream. Oh, what could she be getting? She's got... Okay. Looks like I can't leave. Kawakami? Is that what the district's called? It's been so long since I've...
Let me see.
Now I can make all the money I want. Let's go. Amaterasu Corporation can't touch me. In fact, my new company will be even bigger. Oh. Starting up your own business, huh? In direct competition to Amaterasu.
Yeah.
I like modern cards, but vintage ones like this are cool too. Which card best suits an informant? Or maybe it'd be cooler if I ditched the ride entirely and just appeared out of nowhere like a phantom. Now then you'd be walking everywhere. Oh, I didn't know alcohol could taste this good. Been sleeping at the office every night till yesterday, so the old lady won't get mad if I have a few drinks. Don't forget to pace yourself.
Hey,
Shut up and let me drink.
Come on.
Your wife's going to be mad. Look, don't you talk about my old lady. Alright. Well, I guess everybody in the town is, handling the truth very well. Hey, have you heard? Marunamon has recovered nicely since the flooding. Really? That's great. Apparently that ex-peacekeeper Martina is keeping a handle on things over there. Plus, she's absolutely gorgeous. Long live Miss Martina, am I right? My impression of her from the theater club incident was that she ruled with an iron fist, but...
Huh?
Did you speak badly of Miss Martina just now? Not at all. I didn't say anything. Yeah, you heard me. She was crazy. She might be better now that she's not working under Yomi and was able to pull away from his influence. What is it? Those pesky peacekeepers finally chilled out, so why don't you leave me alone too? I used to think all the pipes were a big eyesore. But it's because of these pipes that Kanai Ward was able to exist.
what?
Hell are you? Don't talk to me. Everyone's walking around without care in the world.
Excuse me. Do you have the body cream I ordered?
Ah, of course. Here you go. Specialized body cream that'll protect you from harmful sunlight. It's perfect for us homunculi. It's perfect for us homunculi. I can't believe I'm getting used to saying that.
I never would have imagined. Oh well, that's life.
Ah, it was all so sudden. That day, Mr. Makoto startled all of us in Kanai Ward with that emergency broadcast. Seeing his face behind the mask was surprising enough. Who could have guessed we were all monstrous homunculi?
We're not monsters. We're just a little bit different from regular people.
You murdered all of the
That's what
citizens of
Mr. Makoto
Kanai
said.
Ward.
Still, it's hard to accept it. And I'm not talking just about myself here. Everyone feels the same way.
For now, I think we should just take it slow. If we can accept things slowly, we can live our lives with more hope.
Right. We're immortal, after all. We've got plenty of time. Besides, we all made the decision together. After we voted on the referendum, we chose to follow Mr. Makoto. So yeah, like he said, we need to take it slow and live with hope.
Yeah, I think that's right. Okie dokie. Next is... Oh, right! I need to buy a map!
Why? It's not like you'll be going anywhere anytime soon. I'm guessing I wonder why people do graffiti. With this sort of talent, they should draw somewhere appropriate. I've often cursed this rain, but it's protecting us all along.
Right!
It's really surprising, huh? Even though we've been told our bodies are normal, this is our new normal, I guess. So we'll just have to stay true to ourselves and enjoy our lives here. I mean, back to whether they're monsters or not. I mean, I understand it's kind of out of their hand. It's in their nature to go berserk when they're exposed to sunlight. So the people that created them, Dr. Weska and Yomi and the former CEO are more to blame, but yeah, I don't know. I guess if it was me, I wouldn't be able to just like, wash my hands of it, figuratively. They still haven't cleared out the trash around here. I hope they get used to it soon. I'm not sure Miss Koto has his hands full with so many urgent matters to deal with. But I guess it would be easier if you had no memory of slaughtering the humans that lived here. Well, a lot of people at the ramen shop, so I guess they're eating other things, but I don't know, like that one report said, they are dependent on human flesh in order for their body to function.
Right!
I'm off to buy my little girls the picture books. New ones from outside Kanawar have been coming in. Come on, Mama, let's go already. There's so many books I want. That's great. Which books are you getting? The Quite Stuffed Caterpillar, 111 Calicos, and The Big Ship That Would. Those all sound great. Why don't we go get them before they sell out? Yeah. Okay, good rain to you, lady.
Yeah.
Good rain to you. Oh gosh, that's another thing I hadn't considered. Like, can homunculi have children? Like, I know their bodies function almost identically to humans, so I guess they can. But are those children also homunculi? Are they immortal? Do they stop aging once they've reached maturity? I do want some new shoes. Thinking it, it's probably best to save as much spending money as I can. Okay. Because I don't really... no incentive to inspect every little thing, and can't get detective points with Kurumi. Oh no!
Since then, the people in town have stopped eating meat buns. No one wants them anymore, now that we know what they're made of.
Well, yeah, that
I think that's
figures.
a natural response. Our bodies may be artificial, but our hearts are still human.
Since nobody eats them anymore, the meat bun places have closed down. I wonder if a new store is going to open up. But again, they need human flesh to survive. So, unless Makoto and Amaterasu are researching new ways to, excuse me, create some sort of substitute, a more humane substitute for it.
I see.
Amaterasu Corporation isn't keeping us from leaving anymore. I can go anywhere I want. It feels kind of strange. It would be very interesting if the rest of the world finds out about the homunculi. Like, and I'm not just talking about the unified government, because obviously they know. They've done their own. They've done their own research into it. But, you know, what would people on the outside world think, like, well, wait a minute. These guys are immortal? What? How is that possible? This is too much. What happened? Since restrictions on imports have been lifted, the bookstore is getting all sorts of magazines delivered. But there's so many male idols I don't know. What should I do? Who should I choose? I have to buy more magazines. I have to work more so I can stand more idols. Good luck.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
Oh, sorry. How can I help?
Do you have what I ordered?
The map, right? You want the world map.
Yes, that's right.
Now that Kanai Ward is no longer isolated, I can order books from around the world. I'm so giddy about it that I can't help but read every one.
I understand. It's been a while since we were able to interact with anyone outside of the city.
There have been a lot of problems, but Mr. Makoto is handling the negotiations. So I'm sure it'll be fine.
It will be. Of course.
Mr. Makoto is so amazing. Even if it was decided by the referendum, he quickly ended our isolation and promised to negotiate with the unified government as well. Although he did say it was his way of atoning. He was ready to turn himself in, but we stopped him from doing so with that referendum. Honestly, he doesn't have to force himself to work so hard. It'd be awful if he ever collapsed from it all. Oh, but maybe homunculi don't get tired? I'm not sure myself.
Whatever the case, he better not overwork himself. He is Kanai Ward's leader, and leader of us homunculi.
You got that right. The coexistence between humanity and homunculi has just begun. Anyway, about that world map. What made you want to get it?
It's a secret. Sorry. It involves a high school girl's crush.
A crush, huh?
So the next up should be the last one. I must have my precious multi-pack of instant ramen.
Sounds like Kurumi is gathering items to go on a trip. Maybe to find Yuma? Seeing that bookstore owner guy, I would be pissed if I was an old person and then the leader of the city said, oh yeah, we're all immortal homunculi, we're gonna live forever. And I would just be sitting there with my old ass body thinking, like, really? This is what I'm stuck? I'm immortal, this is the body I'm stuck with. Thanks a lot.
But ramen shops popped up in their place.
Oh, Kurumi.
Hi, you look busy.
I sure am, but busy is great for business. I need to go inspect the grand openings for our 3 brand new locations.
In a strange twist of fate, he appeared in Kanai Ward using his passion for cooking to develop ramen. Ultimately, he turned that ramen into something with all the nutrients a homunculus would need.
Oh, well that's convenient.
And of course, it's super yummy, says everyone.
Fate can be such an enigma. Although I originally made a contract with him, I ended up following him here out of guilt. This city was a shock to my system at first, but I was able to open up the ramen shop of my dreams. So I think coming here was the right call. Seriously though, fate can be so strange.
Yes, I think so too. Oh, that's right. May I please have a multi-pack of instant ramen? For now, I need about a month's supply.
Huh? A month? Sure thing, but why do you need so much?
secret?
Thank you. You want to get a bite to eat while you're here?
No, I'm okay for today.
All right then. Well, good rain to you.
Yeah, good rain to you too. That's it for the shopping. I've safely completed all my preparations. I should head to the Nocturnal Detective Agency. I better hurry or I won't make it in time.
I was wondering if they were still in town. Still don't know exactly how much time has passed. I'm guessing at least a month or two, maybe more. I mean, gosh, it might be longer than that since he's opened up a chain and apparently developed a ramen that can have all the nutrients that can replace human flesh. God, you think with all of his resources, Makoto would have been one of the first things he would have looked into. Because just you know, like kidnapping criminals to process into meat buns seems like it would be that would just raise more suspicion, and it did. That's why the World Detective Organization you know, set number one to I mean that wasn't the only reason, that was part of it, but sorry, I just wanted to see what she says. Some of these are kind of giving some important context after the fact. Containers belonging to Amaterasu Corporation are stacked up. Now that the isolation is over, containers like these will be exported from Kanai Ward. Okay, that didn't really tell me anything new. I know that they're commencing trade with the outside world. It's a dump site with a lot of trash. It smells a little. They said they'd increase garbage collection and clean up the city, but I guess they haven't started yet. Yeah, let's see if the gang's here, still at the agency. Yeah, 3 of them are.
Let's get going.
Can't believe we're saying goodbye to this place. After all is said and done, I'm gonna miss it.
We have shared many memories here. But departure is just the start of a new adventure. Be sure not to forget anything before we set sail.
Hey, princess! Your suitcase? You've already forgotten something.
Oh, so true. Hey everyone! You're all still here! I'm glad I made it in time.
Kurumi! You came to see us off? Where are the others? Are any of my fans with you?
No, it's just me.
Huh? Oh, maybe they were too shy to come along.
Wait, where's Vivia? Vivia? What are you doing?
How did he unzip that on his own?
Kurumi? I figured if I stayed inside a suitcase, someone would carry me. Long trips are exhausting. All journeys can be life-threatening. There is no peace or quiet.
You never change, Vivia.
Seeing Vivia kind of reminded me of another thought I had. But,
You all really are leaving, huh?
yep, they are. I got another thought. So, I wondered if Makoto wore the mask all the time. Like, even when he was eating, or sleeping, or bathing, or what. Or if he did take it off. Because if he did, not that Vivia... I wouldn't expect him to, like, stay in ghost form the entire, and spy on Makoto all the time. But if he had just snuck into the tower and seen who was under the mask, everything wouldn't have been clear, but it would have answered a lot of questions. But maybe since Makoto also had coalescence, maybe he could sense Vivia's spirit, since it is his forte. Kind of like at the beginning of the game when I can't remember his name, the guy with the torn beanie on his head, used his radar skill, and Yuma was able to detect it. Presumably that was coalescence. It might have been because of Shinigami, but it was probably coalescence, since it can mimic any other forte, so...
After that incident, we stayed at the agency to monitor what would happen. But our work here is done. The city will be fine.
Yeah, it's time we stepped off the stage. A bunch of detectives just sticking around isn't a great look.
That's not true. Detectives are heroes to me.
Kanai Ward is free. If you ever need us, we shall fly to your aid.
I've spoken to Makoto as well. If Kanai Ward ever needs detectives, he can call us anytime. Halara Nightmare will be at his service. Obviously, I don't work for cheap.
So, where will you go now?
For now, we're heading back to WDO headquarters. We don't know what'll happen after that. I'm sure we'll be dispatched to some other job. The World Detective Organization can be such slave drivers.
I thought WDO headquarters was bombed in that terrorist attack.
Oh, come on! How many times do I have to explain it to you? The explosion footage we saw was all a sham!
Oh, really?
Sham? So, it never really happened? Why would anyone do such a thing? For what purpose?
It was all done by Makoto. It wasn't the only thing he fabricated. He made it look like we died too. He prepared clothes identical to our outfits, and also found skeletons similar to our body types.
Yeah, I thought everyone was dead.
Oh yeah, this is the first time we're seeing each other
You got
after...
like that, Kurumi. Nothing can kill us.
I figured they weren't dead.
There were letters written by everyone, and I was told it looked like your handwriting.
I hear that was thanks to Makoto's coalescence. Fortes are indeed formidable.
I would expect nothing less of #1's homunculus.
Homunculus?
Why don't you get it? How many times do I have to explain everything?
My apologies. My mind has been in a haze ever since we inhaled that white smoke.
Do you even know how long ago that was?
After you were knocked out, you all woke up on the top floor of Kanai Tower, right?
Yeah, it was Makoto's room. We were trapped in there. While we were locked up, the final battle took place.
This is... this is most certainly just exposition for the audience's sake, or for the player's sake. I mean, it was funny, you know, it kind of was fitting to use Fubuki to ask some of the questions and, you know, have some of the an unanswered question explained, because she is such a dummy and she's so forgetful. But yeah, Kurumi asking something that she clearly knows, yeah, that is 100% just expositing for the sake of it.
Kurumi, you were there, right?
Yes. But only for half of it, really.
To think this was all for the final showdown. It was nothing but a ploy by Makoto to lure Yuma here, who took the lead role.
Jeez. It's all so unbelievable.
Then again, almost everything in this city is too.
Yet, what I still struggle to comprehend is that Yuma was #1 of the WDO.
Right. Even I didn't realize it.
Who would have thought my man is the top detective of the WDO?
Former top detective. He already left the organization.
It is such a waste for him to simply discard his position as #1.
His letter of resignation was submitted before he lost his memories. He had hoped that by quitting, he could bring change to the organization. In this new era, a detective must follow their own creed to solve each case.
He took the first steps to make that reality happen. I think it's commendable. Maybe I should quit too. Work as a detective is getting more and more exhausting.
I'm surprised Vivi hasn't quit yet.
So quick to call it quits.
But where did Yuma, I mean the former #1, go?
I think it's fine to call him Yuma. It feels better that way.
He vanished without a word. I have no idea where he could be.
Kurumi, I'm sure you're worried too.
Huh? I'm not sure if worried is exactly the right word. There's something I want to say to everyone.
You're going to find him, right?
Huh?
It doesn't take a detective to notice the giant backpack you're carrying.
Kurumi, are you really going to try to find Yuma?
Do you know where he went?
You still want to go?
I haven't said goodbye yet. Actually, I refuse to say goodbye. I had a lot of fun spending time with Yuma. I've always admired detectives, and investigating with one was like a dream come true. That's why I want to be with him. Even if he's different now, Yuma will always be Yuma.
Come on. If you're gonna confess you love him, just tell him.
Huh? No! That's not what I meant! Besides, I've always wanted to take a trip. It's why I got permission from Mr. Makoto to travel.
Oh, you're free to travel, but you still gotta get permission, huh?
Never underestimate my abilities as an informant.
Doesn't sound like freedom to me.
Right. I believe you can do it, Kurumi.
A master detective and former #1 of the WDO. And a homunculus informant. Yeah, I think you two would make a great team.
Well, come on. We should get going already. Since he quit, the WDO is in a state of chaos. #1's position is still vacant. An election to decide the next #1 will be held among the detectives soon. We need to hurry home.
Maybe I'll nominate myself. Hey, why are you sighing?
If you find Yuma, give him my regards. Also, tell him I'm still waiting for him to pay up.
Right.
Does that coin have some significance? I'm totally blanking.
Kurumi, if you ever decide to ditch Yuma for me, give me a call anytime. When you do, I hope you'll introduce me to your friends too. And even your friends' friends. See ya.
Guess that's their way of paying respects to the chief.
Let's meet again in our dreams.
Thanks for everything, Tetsuhiko. It is so hard to say farewell, but all adventures involve such partings. Well then, I must continue my own adventure. Please take care of yourself, Kurumi. And of course, I must thank the chief as well. my heart. Farewell, everyone. Fubuki, I hope to see you somewhere out there in the world.
Oh, I thought he's just gonna sit there and be like, no one's gonna wheel me.
No one's gonna carry me. Great. Walking is way too much effort. It was rather comfortable in there. I know this may sound like a bad joke, given what you are, but I want to die someday.
Please take care, Vivia. Everyone is gone. Yuma, I won't give up. Okay. I better get going too. Chief Yako, thank you so much. I met so many people and learned an important truth. It's all thanks to this detective agency. I'm really, truly grateful.
On the Amaterasu Express, or another one.
I'm sorry for suddenly disappearing on you. I thought I should take a little trip. From here on out, I intend to travel the world. There are still cities everywhere in need of detectives. I want to eradicate all unsolved mysteries from this world and bring happiness to everyone. So, I have to go. This is my dream. And also, an important promise I made to someone. In the meantime, I want you to hold on to this book for me.
She's got the death book.
Once I'm finished, I'll come back for it.
Someday, he says. I may be immortal, but I'm not that patient.
Oh, the sun's got. I was like, why is she pulling up her hood? Because she's. Train is going into the sunlight. So, like, what are the conditions of solving all the world's mysteries and making everybody happy? Because, I mean, if it's anything like our world, there are, tragedies occurring every day and mysteries that are going unsolved. That are only, that cause people great pain or suffering. And, wow, that is loud. But I don't... Not like I can adjust it. Shinigami-chan! If I ever play this, I might, which I probably will. I liked it. I'll get more into that, but I'll have to play in the Japanese subtitles. I thought about it to begin for this stream, this recording, but I like the job that the Danganronpa games did. Spike Chunsoft usually has pretty good localization. It's not questionable like some other devs and other publishers. So they usually do a pretty good job, and they'll hire some people that may not sound super, they'll kind of like do a mix, some people that I'm aware of, some people I haven't heard before, and yeah, they all usually do a pretty good job, and it's no different from this game. They everybody did a pretty good job of voice acting. As for the thoughts on the game, as a whole, I really enjoyed it. I like the 3D graphics, and I think they did a bang-up job. I know it took them... It was quite a hurdle for the studio, because they are most known for making a 2D game with like minimal 3D environments, or 3D assets. So going into a fully 3D game, I thought it was done really, really well. I think it was they were able to make the character designs, like make them look exactly like the art. God, I apologize. I'm blanking on the character designer's name, but I think they're the same ones that designed the characters Danganronpa, and I really like their style. And they were able to make it look good, and they've had some experience. Like they made the Ultra Despair Girl, Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls, which is also a very fun game, which is kind of a spin-off of the Danganronpa series, and that's a 3D game. But this one has a lot more detail, and all the character designs are great. I love how I like how good looking the characters are in the game, or just how cool looking some of them. Because every one of them just has such, for lack of a better term, character to them. And like Danganronpa, they're all very much larger than life characters. Some of them are mostly the bad guys are kind of caricatures. Namely, like the peacekeepers that you dealt with some of the early cases. Now, some got a little more fleshed out, like Yomi, and oh gosh, God, I'm blanking on her name. She just his subordinate is his right-hand woman. I'll think of it here in a second. Although Yomi was basically went from sadistic psychopath to even bigger, murderous, psychopath who just wanted to rule the city. And I really liked all the characters. I think Yuma has some of the best development, and I know I probably shouldn't be comparing it to the Danganronpa game so often, but it is such in the same style as those games. I can't help it, and not just in design, but also tone as well. There's this really, really, unique balance between downright morbid to hilarious and almost irreverent joviality. And I think especially like Shinigami as a character really sort of encapsulated the overall tone of this game, because she was such being who she is, elated every time there was a mystery or a corpse or murder. But as her and Yuma go closer, she starts to respect him and his feelings and have the appropriate reactions. And some, not to say she, didn't have a wide range of, emotions herself at the beginning, but yeah, I really enjoyed their dynamic and how they grew as partners throughout the game, and learned to respect each other more, and how Yuma gained more confidence and strengthened his resolve. And apparently now we're in Miami, and there's a high-speed chase.
Please! I need information!
We did it, boss! That was easy.
Well, that'd be an easy mystery to solve. Apparently, whatever town this is, it's in bad shape. But former number one's here to clean things up.
Over there. Seriously? Again?
All right.
Judging by the gunfire, that sounds like it's an active murder. case going on. Or is that part of the soundtrack? It sounded like gunfire. But, yeah, it's, yeah. Sounds like he's found the perfect city to try to help. Possibly a teaser for a sequel? Or maybe not, probably not DLC, because this game originally came out like middle of last year. Sometime in the summer of 2023. I better pick this and so I get the so it doesn't. I can't remember if there's a opening movie or something that I'll play, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. I have some problems with some of the characters, and I think I voiced them pretty well at the time. And mainly, it was mostly Vivia at the time. How he did almost anything he could to not help out. I feel like he could have done more, and just for like helping the chief out, because he knew the chief was planning something, and it was something bad. In fact, if memory serves, Vivia seems to imply that he knew that the chief was planning to murder somebody. So another job of a detective is also to prevent crimes as well, because they still are law enforcement. So I feel like he didn't utilize his ability as much as he could. But I guess I can't be too upset, because I guess it does fit with his character and just how utterly lethargic and disinterested he is in most things. He does, like, I think Yuma in their interaction, their journey through the mystery labyrinth together during the case of the critical lab, I think Vivia does get in sort of inspired by Yuma and his conviction, and how he seeks the truth. He believes that revealing the truth and dealing with it is better than just living a lie, which is basically what the chief's spirit said when they were in projection, astral projection. And the twist at the end there was very cool. There were quite a few hints throughout the game, so replaying it, it'll be fun to see all the little tidbits that they put in to kind of reveal the true nature of Connive Ward and its citizens. Although I don't think there was anything like this. I can't help but wonder if one of the detectives had eaten a meat bun and been like, wow, this tastes like shit. Now, the factory might have made them, even though they're made of corpses, the way they made the meat buns, they may still have been pretty good, even to somebody that wouldn't. It was repulsed by eating flesh, which I hope is most people. So I feel like something like maybe not even just like absolutely disgusting, like tastes like rotting meat or something like that, but maybe Dezuhiko has a meat bun and says, "Man, this is kind of odd tasting. I don't really see all the appeal to this. I don't know why everybody loves these meat buns." But the fact that it was referenced so much and how everybody in town seemed to eat them, and there was a stand in every corner. Yeah, that was pretty. That was good. Good setup. Pretty good payoff. But and I don't say, I was speculating earlier. I don't know exactly how much time has passed since the big reveal, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like there just should have been a much bigger reaction to that news. I mean, obviously we didn't see what the reaction was when Makoto made that broadcast and revealed the secret. But I would have expected more of a physical change in the city itself, in its citizens. I would have expected there to have been destroyed buildings, signs of looting, signs of crime, and citizens going through existential crisis, and perhaps turning on one another. I feel like there would just been it should have been a much bigger fallout than that there is. It's almost like not really a campy happy ending, but it's almost like the best case scenario. I mean, if I'm Makoto, he's got to be elated of what's happening. I mean, he won, essentially. Kanai Ward is still in one piece. The homunculi have seemed to have accepted their true identity, the natures, and are choosing to live in Kanai Ward and in peace. And they've even started negotiations with the unified government and started opening trade lines again, so that the state of Kanai Ward will improve even more. You know, there's more commerce coming in and out of it. And he just it did have that line that he was going to resign, but I don't feel like that would have made up for what he did. Like, what he covered up, what he kidnapping these, criminals. Now, he did say they were death row inmates, so that's a little better, but I mean, if it had gone any longer, I would fully expect him to start abducting innocent people to feed the homunculi. But I said earlier, like, why wasn't he looking for other alternative food sources besides human flesh for them to eat? Now you think with his resources, he could have made that happen, but I don't know. And there's a lot of other stuff. Like, I kind of went over it as we were going through the labyrinth and things like that. Like, there's just like the logistics of keeping such the blank weak mystery under wraps. I mean, even if Makoto, he is the homunculus of supposedly the world's smartest guy, who, I don't know how old Yuma is. I'm assuming I just assumed he's a, teenage, mid to late teens or something like that. And he was in charge of a whole world detective organization. I guess that's just shows how smart of a guy he was and how powerful his forte was. But that's kind of, yeah, I mean, I kind of have issues with that, but it's also, this game is like heavily, it takes heavy inspirations from animes, and a lot of anime protagonists are very young, but also very capable, to the point where a lot of them are overpowered, and they're a bit too well liked. Now, some of them can make it work, but I don't know, you just kind of have to look at through that lens. But yeah, but for Makoto to do all that himself, and it's not like he could. See, like, I don't even think he could use the full breadth of his power and resources as a CEO of Amaterasu, because that might have clued some of the workers or the peacekeepers in to that. Oh yeah, everybody in town is a homunculus. And I can't, it's just hard for me to believe that there's just not some small piece of evidence that somebody had that Makoto could not account for, that intimated, suggested what the true, like, what was really going on. Like we used, like, wait a minute, why do we have these, I'm just thinking, like, a blood bank at a hospital in Kanai Ward. Like, wait a minute, why are a fridge full of red blood? We have pink blood. I just don't feel like, and I don't feel like the excuse of, oh, it's the rain. it's just changing the properties of our blood. Like, that would raise a whole bunch of questions too. Like, wait a minute, this is changing our blood? What else is it doing to us? I would, if I knew, if somebody told me that rain was changing the color of blood, I would assume that rain is toxic to me and that it's killing me eventually. So you think there would be other independent studies into the true, you know, like the properties of the rain and what it's doing to them, and that could have revealed some clues too. But I mean, I guess Makoto would have squashed those as well. He maybe could have used the Peacekeepers by keeping them in the dark, but again, you can't let anybody learn about that. And I also wonder if Yomi and Dr. Weska, their homunculus, I wonder if they must not have known the truth, because Yomi would have certainly have leveraged that information in order to overthrow Makoto. Now, he might have been doing something like that when him and Weska were conspiring and leaking research data from the corporation to somebody, you know, and outside sources, probably the unified government. But how much they leaked, who knows? If Yomi learned that every citizen in town was a homunculi, an homunculus, that's a pretty big arrow in the quiver. And I believe he would use every resource available to him in order to overthrow Makoto and become the head dog there at Amaterasu. And depending on what data they leaked to the UF, or the UG, excuse me, they might have started putting the pieces together like, hey, I think something screwy going on in Kinehart. I think, like, well, they knew there's something weird's going on there. But, yeah, I think they might have a lot of homunculus there. Like, I think they might have succeeded, and, you know, they're still technically defective homunculus, but apparently they're, like, they just need to cover up, put some sunblock on, and put a raincoat. And why couldn't he have done that? Why couldn't he have just, like, just produced a lot of sun cream and said, like, hey, make sure before you go outside, use sunscreen. But I guess creating a machine that perpetually creates rain clouds is easier than that. Plus all the infrastructure you have to build in order to properly drain the rain and prevent flooding, excuse me. But yeah, yeah, I got a lot of problems with the ending. Like I said, I like the twist itself, but I think there's just a lot of little holes in it, and with the epilogue itself that kind of leaves it kind of keeps this game from being. It's super great, and I'm running out of time here, so I can't get into every a lot of things I'd like, but because I did like a lot of things. I love the mystery labyrinths. It's such fun. I love how they implemented the game mechanics, and they kind of built on what they did in Danganronpa. If you ever played that, I would highly suggest it. But they kind of built on that, using the evidence, using clues to refute statements and enforce your point and cut to the truth. And also the level design in there. I mean, they were pretty straightforward as far, but the environmental design itself in the labyrinths, and also the city itself, Kanai Ward is amazing. It is an awesome atmosphere. It's sort of like a neon cyberpunk sort of environment, and it has its own personality. And I had a really fun. Overall had a really fun time with this game. I got my issues with it, but yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and I hope you did too. Hope you had fun watching this. I'm probably going to go through the sub-stories, because that is new for the Rain Plus, so that is DLC, so look forward to that. And thanks for sticking around this long. Don't know when the next game will be, but I'll let you know soon. So y'all take care.